Hey guys, welcome back to the Meg and Maddie Show. We are so happy to be back for another great day of baseball.
Another long day of baseball, truthfully. Yesterday, NC State got eliminated.
Yep.
Sad. They lost to Florida 5-4. Wasn't very exciting. Kind of towards the end got more exciting, but a pretty slow game. I mean, Florida had one big inning. And then Kentucky versus A&M, not a do or die. They were both 1-0 at the beginning of that. Kentucky fell to A&M in a 6-1 battle. Not even a battle. 6-1 loss. Kentucky just wasn't hitting.
Well, that guy almost threw for a no-hitter.
Yeah, he threw a no-hitter up until
6.6, I think.
It was 6.1.
Okay.
Yeah,
and he pitched for 6.2 after, so. Yeah, that was crazy. I really thought we were going to see something there. But I felt bad because no one obviously is then hitting to give us something good, something crazy to talk about. But
yeah. A&M just showed out, though.
Yeah.
They showed out hard.
And they hit all of their runs in that exact same inning.
6th inning.
Yeah, every single one. So.
Yeah, we have Harrison from SEC Unfiltered. Will be joining us today. So we'll see you then. Today we have Harrison. He's going to tell you what he does.
Yeah, so I'm an analyst and content contributor for SEC Unfiltered, an SEC media entity that covers all things SEC in sports, basketball, baseball, football, but my primary focus is on baseball.
Walk us through a day in your life doing stuff for SEC Unfiltered during the College World Series.
Yeah, so we're kind of in the morning just recapping stuff from the last night, press conferences, some content. We get some interviews as well, looking at some statistics and just whatnot, kind of collecting things from there to want to post. If we want to post some quotes from like press conferences or whatnot, get some of the interviews, like I said, out, and then kind of preparing for the games coming up that day, whether they're, SEC versus ACC or SEC versus SEC, kind of get some storylines and whatnot, look at who's starting pitching. Obviously, we'll do some previews, some picks and whatnot, and then as the game goes on, get a lot more content out through the game, whether it's statistical and analytics or just good video content and, just trying to grow the game of college baseball. And then after the game, in between the games, we'll do some interviews with players again, or coaches, sit in the press conferences, just keep getting more content out and try to, like I said, grow the game.
So you do a lot of content creation. We caught you in a food review yesterday. We had some tacos. They were pretty good.
They were really good. I thought they were better than you did, though.
Yeah, no, the cheese wasn't melted enough. It was still kind of weirdly chewy.
Has that video been posted?
That video is going to be posted right after this.
Maddie was jumping on that.
Yeah, I look A, like a big bag. B, it's my bad side. And C, I was eating and not remembering I was on camera. I saw some our content creators started filming from that, and I was like, oh no.
It was on
they had almost
vibes,
40K, and I was like, please, no. No, that does not need to go anywhere.
You told me you were going to post that 4 different times. So I'm not going to look for it after this. I'm just going to wait till tonight because tonight it'll probably be posted.
I hope he forgets about it forever.
Yeah. It will be posted. Like I said, it's just the amount of content in the games, amount of games being played each day here. It feels like it's just nonstop. I know you guys have kind of experienced that too. It's just trying to get things out in timely is really important. And so doing so, a lot of that, right after the games, whether it's we're here at 11:30 or with that weather delay, the game starting at 10 p.m. We were here till I think 1:40 is when we left. So just trying to get all the content that we can strategically and timely is important. So that one's not as important. It's also funny because I have another food review after that from the other day I need to post as well. But we got to figure out where to go today to do a food review.
Ooh.
I also saw that you have a food Instagram.
I do, Cordell's Kitchen.
Tell us a little bit about that, what you do on it, what type of stuff you're posting on there.
Yeah, so it started kind of more so when I was playing junior college baseball. A lot of free time on my hands because just the way that kind of JUCO is. And I grew up in a household in which we cook a lot. So my dad has 2 big green eggs. He's a huge cook, loves to grill out. And we eat dinner at home, as a family, 4 or 5 nights a week at least. And so my dad's always cooking, looking up new recipes and whatnot. So I feel like I grew up with a really mature palate and just willing to try things, whether it's, vegetables or, just different types of meats or whatnot, just brisket. We would do so many different things and be creative. My parents did get an air fryer, though. They're big on that right now. So it kind of came from that and just with the free time I had at college and wanting to eat healthy and, be in the best shape I can and as an athlete and a pitcher, right, I just kind of carried that over. And it's really not hard to cook healthy meals if you think about it. And you just kind of have to do a little bit of prep, but it's really not hard. It's a lot cheaper than just eating out all the time and healthier. So it kind of just started from there and just, got creative and just find things I like, but they're also aren't too hard. I kind of stick to the 1 or 2 pan pot rule.
That's the best way to do it.
Simple to do, a little more clean, less cleanup. So it's worked from there and just kind of evolved. And during COVID, it kind of escalated more because of the more free time. So I was just like, I had a bunch of people like, you need to post your food, like just meals you make. And so I started doing that, and it's kind of fun.
I have like 2 things from this. One, when you're at a place like this, where you're grinding, like we just talked about, you're pumping out content all the time. You're grinding from like 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Like, what are you doing to like, not necessarily like stay healthy, but like make sure you're getting good food so you can keep going on something so long like this?
Yeah, so a lot of that's, I think, going to be, I've been mindful of is taking the stairs as much as possible, especially down we know how slow the elevators are as well, but try to leave those for the fans unless it's, right there. But taking the stairs down is super easy. And just as much as we're running around the ballpark, getting content or just going down to watch games or whatever it is, experiencing the Omaha Village, which has been unbelievable here. Doing that, but at least I haven't been great at it, to be honest with you. I mean,
I'm awful at it. I don't think about it. Like, I was just like taught that this is the elevator. So I did not think, oh yeah, the stairs would be right next door. So I'm just like standing there waiting there half the time.
In college, I would never take the elevator down.
I have zero patience. Like, so the stairs, I was waiting and it was like probably a minute. And I'm like, I've had enough. And I've taken the stairs ever since. The only time I take the elevator is to the press meal or the medium meal.
Yeah. So speaking of that, the medium meal has been really good. They've been feeding us pretty well, and it's been for the most part really healthy. Just trying to be mindful of that, and portions and rations, stuff like that. But that's been probably my main source of food, I will say. So it's been really good that I've stayed away from the desserts for the most part there. Like to dabble a little bit.
Every single time you got to get it. It's going to go to waste if you don't eat it.
More for someone else, but that
I don't need
pack
any
some
of them.
protein bars and granola bars in my bag, and then make sure I try to get some sort of a good meal. Like the tacos, I was like, I want something that's like filling. That was a little bit of a cheat, but it had a good amount of protein in it. So just kind of being mindful of that, I think, is something I've kind of grown accustomed to just subconsciously, and it's not something I worry or stress about.
My second thing off of that is when you were playing in JUCO, how did you notice that like once you started cooking, getting a hang of what you're going like with nutrition wise, how did you like notice that affected you as like a student athlete?
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed I felt better, just healthy, like immune system wise, but also just like energy wise, it was a lot cleaner. I think it helped my cardio as well. It's hard to explain, or it's just kind of a thing you kind of feel. It's like I was also super hydrated. I chug water. Like I'd say 9.5 out of 10 meals I'm drinking water, just because me personally, I don't like to mix too many flavors unless it's like a nice wine with a steak. Like that's when I'll kind of dabble. But like hydration's huge in it. But it was just something I felt better, and a lot of guys are like noticed and kind of would take it and join in. We'd either do some like group meals once a week in junior college. There's nothing to do. But it's just something that like I felt like it was always something I did, and so I just continued. And you feel good, you play good, and so like I felt. I was intentional with my meals, especially like, carb loading before you're running a race, right? Or carb loading before I start. So I had those extra carbs, that energy, the glycogen storage was full. So that was something I just kind of focused on before my starts.
So I'm a JUCO bandit as well.
JUCO bandit, baby.
JUCO bandit. Tell us about that and your experience with JUCO, because it is so different from playing even like Division III, but like Division I, it is so different. Your time schedules, the games, everything. So talk about JUCO a little bit.
Yeah, so I played junior college at Central Alabama Community College. Pretty small town, Alexander City, Alabama, about 40 minutes north of Auburn, between that and Birmingham. And not, like, you see, like, we've all seen Last Chance U, right? The junior college is, like, it's nothing like any of those. We do not have all these sponsors. We don't have a Netflix documentary crew. It's you really go there. You got to love baseball. You got to love the sport you're doing to go there. There's different calibers of players I think you see there. You see guys that are going there, I'll say for baseball example, that are really good that want to get drafted in 1 year. Because in baseball, you have to go 3 years and get drafted after your junior year. You see guys that are not good enough or haven't developed to a point where they can play at Division I level or Division II, so they go JUCO, get that development, pitch a lot of innings early on, because there's a lot of guys that play Division I or SEC even that, freshman year, they're getting like 3-4 innings. Like, it's like, how is that really helping your development unless they have a really good program that you're getting work in, or redshirting? So that was a big thing for me. I wanted to throw a lot, get innings, and my pitching coach used to play for the White Sox in the 90s, and he's a left-handed pitcher too, so I was like, this guy can help get me right. I can learn a lot from him, and I'm going to get a lot of innings in. So that was my plan, and just, hit the weight room really hard, continue to do that and develop and optimize my mechanics and whatnot. So that was kind of me. And then there's guys that this is the last time they're ever going to play that sport, and they want to play as long as they can. This might be their last degree, right? They may not get a bachelor's, they're going to get an associate's degree, but you see that, I think, in any junior college level, and it's humbling in a way because you don't get the flashy uniforms. You don't get these incredible facilities that we see all in the SEC and everywhere else. You don't get, all the gear they walk around with on campus. So you get like, JUCO players are so passionate about the sport they play because of those things, I think. And we traveled in just vans across Alabama to play baseball. Just that half the time didn't have AC that worked. So that was not fun. And you really grow a sense of communion with the players too, because you guys kind of we're all in this together, we're all experienced together, like we're going through together. So I think it builds those relationships. So then if you have the opportunity to go play for the Division II, Division I, like mid-major, Power 5, wherever it is, it's kind of humbling experience. You have that confidence, that kind of backbone even more so in your sport, and just, I've been through this, like I grinded here, I'm supposed to be here, I earned this. And so I think it can instill a lot of confidence in you, but also can apply to real world as well.
When you get gear, so when I came to Creighton and we got all of our gear, we were given a practice shirt at my JUCO. We were given a practice shirt, we had to buy our own pants, and we were given practice socks and game socks. Those were the only things we were given. So when I got to Creighton, and we had backpacks, sweatshirts, everything you would need, shoes. Like I got 2 pairs of cleats, 3 pairs of tennis shoes, like all this stuff. It's like makes you appreciate it more, so much more. And it's also a grind. Like you feel like you work for it because it's like 6-hour practices. There's no rules in JUCO.
Yeah. There's the no rules are. It's a very gray area in JUCO, I will say. I mean, we worked out like the gym we had. It was at the school, like the basement level of the school. They completely redid it and I think bought it out now. But it was a community gym as well. So like you could have a membership to it. So like we're working out with some people like locals there. And it's like it was an interesting experience for sure. Like our batting cages were in the old basketball gym because they didn't have a basketball gym team anymore. So we just like two pop-up cages there and some indoor mounds. So it's really humbling experience. I mean, you're not going to a college town. No. You're going to a town where it's a lot of small towns, locals that are getting an associate or technical degree, or people there to play sport. So everyone we lived in, I don't want to say it was a motel, but kind of the style of that. And it was all the baseball players, some softball, and a couple tennis players. So you have to know what you're getting into before you go JUCO.
Yeah. No, I was lucky enough. I was in Madison, Wisconsin. So I was kind of in a good city, but we were on like the east side of the city, and we all lived in Prentice Park. And it was every single athlete at that school lived in this. So it was like us, like 18, 19-year-olds, and then families. So it was just a weird dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, it's something you remember for a long time. So.
Looking back at that, and now you're here at the College World Series working for the best conference in the country. How does that like make you feel, knowing that like you've experienced so many different walks of life to get here as an analysis?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it's one of those things, the JUCO experience, as well as a lot of other experiences, can prepare you for life off the field. It's like it humbles you in a way. It can instill confidence, and with a lot of free time you have in JUCO, you have to be strategic with your time management. Like we had so much free time, guys would slack off, do whatever. Like there were several of us that would go, get extra work and go work out twice a day. Just, we want to get better because we came there to go play at the highest level and continue playing as long as possible. And we a lot of those took that took it to heart and took it in the real world as well. And so I know I did for sure. And it's one of those things that this is my first College World Series, first time in Nebraska too, clearly. And so it's just one of those things, like being a former pitcher and being an analyst now and covering college baseball, I can sit there, like I was talking with Texas A&M, the pitching coach, and the rest of their coaches, and having a very professional, deep conversation about kind of like just the nuances in pitching, recruiting, like the player development, whatnot like that. Like, and they're like, oh, like he knows what he's talking about. And it's awesome conversation. I've had it with players. We've had it yesterday. We had it some earlier today. It's really cool to hear that, and just I think a unique experience because yes, I didn't get to play at in the SEC. I didn't get to play at Division I, right? But it's one of those things that I don't want to say it's a chip on my shoulder, but it's one of those things I can kind of remember and that continues to push me, like that. I'm never satisfied, always reaching for what's next. How can I better myself? And it's just something that I've taken, I think, in all walks of life.
For sure. Do you have an SEC favorite to win the College World Series? Are you allowed to?
So I'm not a college baseball betting man. I advise against it. I think it is one of the, if not the, I think it's the hardest sport to bet on.
Oh, for sure.
And surprisingly, they do very well with the lines. It's insane how good they are. But for me, I'll put on the record. I think either Tennessee or A&M's going to win. I think they've been two of the best teams all year, clearly. But the way that they're set up right now, they're both 2-0. And they get an extra day off. They both saved a lot of their bullpen with how they kind of managed it and were able to play. And their bullpen's going to be fresh. Their guys going to be fresh an extra day off. And someone's got to beat them twice.
Yeah.
So it puts them in such a good position. And the coaching staffs on there, I've talked with both of the coaching staffs. They're incredible coaching staffs. We talk about the camaraderie in JUCO. Their cultures in the Tennessee program right now and A&M program are unbelievable. Just talking to the players, talking to the coaches, it's unbelievable how close-knit they are, how they've really grind, through the fall. It starts in the fall when they step on campus and just setting the tone for that. And it starts with the players, it starts with the coaches, and the faculty and staff around them. It's really easy to see that in them.
I'm loving those two teams because they could not be more opposite in terms of like how they're going about things. Tennessee, so flashy. They have the big personalities. They're going out there having fun. Their fan base is absolutely insane. And then you have the Texas A&M dudes. You interview them and they're like, yeah, I'm just here to play baseball. I love my boys. Like, they're ride or die. And then you have the Texas people in the back just going like, they're ride or die for each other. And it's so fun to see like completely two opposite little fan bases. And I think it could be a really fun one if it ends up that way.
Yeah, like you said, there's just two super passionate fan bases, especially in baseball. And that's what's so good about college baseball. You get the tradition, you get the program kind of prestige, you get guys that are here more than 1 year. You get the 2-3 year guys, you get some transfers, impact players, and it's I think better than college basketball in the fact that it's not one and done. You're getting new faces every year. You get guys that are through the program, that have kind of are heart and souls of programs. It's really cool to see that. It's just, like I said, two passionate fan bases that are really helping grow the game. And we've seen all week how the fan base have shown out. Kentucky's first time here in the College World Series, they showed out. Big Blue Nation really came out here to support. It's been awesome to see them. I mean, everyone. I mean, I think definitely Texas A&M and Tennessee have the largest fan bases here. I mean, you can support that with the Jello Shot Challenge as well.
I was just going to bring that up.
So, I mean, you got the bubbles flying, you got the ball 5 chants, you got Rocky Top chant. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's such a great atmosphere here, and it's an awesome experience.
They just also have a lot of tradition. Like, at football to baseball, a lot of the same things go on, and they bring everything with them. I was talking to one of the Tennessee fans, and he has his own tailgate. He was like one of the first people to tailgate the baseball games this year. He gets there the night before, grills, smokes, all this stuff, like his meat and everything. And then he's just there to serve it to the families. And he came and he brought it. And he's doing tailgates before all the games in Omaha. He drove from Tennessee, brought all of his equipment.
That's dedication.
Yeah, they have the most loyal fan bases.
Dedication is the right word I would use.
Passion, dedication, and money.
Money's, that's probably really important.
I saw in Hoover, the SEC tournament as well, just the fan bases there. And obviously, some fan bases are more passionate than others. I mean, I think it's hard to compare any fan base to LSU, especially in baseball with you said, the history, the tradition, like the culture of winning. I mean, they have been so dominant in the 2000s, especially the early 2000s. And at the SEC tournament, I was fortunate enough to hang out with some LSU fans, and they kind of took me in. They're like, hey, like, you're here all week, like, come hang out. Like, we had a huge setup. I mean, it felt like a fraternity tailgate tent, just TV, and every day was a different meal. So we had like wings and a fish fry the first day, shrimp po' boys the second day, and then like they were there, I think 4 days. We did something else the third, and then the last day we had a huge crawfish boil, and each of the guys, like the LSU fans, had their own kind of style of crawfish. Some of them had some mushrooms and some carrots and sweet potatoes in it, so it was super cool. It's like, you gotta try this, and like we'd come and bring some, like, hey, I brought some wings, and he was just throw it on the grill, right? And it was just so cool to experience that and have that time and create those memories with them, because that was my first time in Hoover at the SEC tournament too. So I think I did it right.
For sure. You mentioned Rocco's, the Jello shot. Have you had one?
I have had one. I'm not going to disclose which team it was for or what color it was, but it's one of those things that the tradition's better than the taste.
For sure. Oh, 100%. They're pre-packaged, by the way. I did not know that the first time that I came. It's my third College World Series. And I was like expecting I don't know what I thought, how they would be pumping out thousands of Jello shots in the back in the kitchen or like having a kid do it or whatever. But no, they're pre-packaged and they are not good, but it's a fun tradition.
Yeah, but I mean, when you talk about taste, the food at Rocco's.
Oh, yeah.
I did a food review there. That was the first one, actually. I guess that was food review 1. Food review 0 was actually the Drover Steakhouse here that Ben McDonald recommended to me. It was incredible. It was really good. I mean, I've had some good steaks, but it was really good. I got they have like this whiskey kind of marinade. It was awesome. But Rocco's, we had the pizza there, and it was very good. I mean, you get a 16-ounce pizza. It was like $25. We got the it was the Meatzilla. Okay, so it was like sausage, bacon, and like 2 other meats. And like, the cheese was really good. It was fresh out the oven. I actually burned my mouth a little bit. That was hot. But it was awesome. And I mean, me and Chris split that, and it was super good. I mean, I was impressed because I thought it was just going to be a bar pizza, but it was definitely, I think I gave it an 8.7. You'll have to go check out the review.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. This is my 4th College World Series.
Congrats.
I've never had a Jello shot.
What?
That feels like a sin.
I've never had a Jello shot at Rocco's.
Why?
I just don't go there.
That's changing this week.
I'm not even going to lie. The first College World Series, that 10-day stretch, I think it was Arkansas that was there, and they had like a Jello shot man I would literally, like, he caught on that I was like coming back every day and like obviously doing something media wise. I would walk in the door and the Jello shot man would give me one of the buckets that they come in. So I probably had 30,
So you've had
40,
more than enough for the both of us, so I guess
50.
I don't need one.
I mean, those buckets, you can get like 30 or 40 in them. And he would just like, okay, so they come in this little container like this, rocket launch them at people. Anyone he saw coming in through the door, he was throwing fastballs of Jello shots at them.
It's fitting.
It was the closest thing to get pitching in the World Series for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, let him have it. But
Yeah, the Arkansas fan base is nuts.
It's a cool tradition to see. I mean, I don't think after last year what LSU did. I mean, it's one of those things. The past 3 years, the Jello Shot champion has been the national championship, right?
Oh, yeah.
The team that's won it all. I mean, it helps when you're here longer and your fans are here longer. But to go from Mississippi State, I think it was like just under 3,000 to Ole Miss was 18,000, and LSU blew them out of the water thanks to Raging Cajuns owner, I think, that bought it.
Yep.
I don't even know how many, but they had like 66,000 is the record now. I don't think that's ever going to be broken, do you?
You don't think so?
I mean, that's a lot of money. Whoever put that money down, that was like they're $5 a shot, and he bought
That
what?
was their advertising, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I
That's like
think-
he bought 30,000 shots, did he not?
It was a lot of money, but when you like really dive into it, it goes back to the food bank of like your school or your town or wherever you're at. So like, A, it can be written off. B, like you said, the advertisement, and C, so many of these SEC schools have people like that. They just have chosen not to participate. They don't know about it. They don't know where all of this money is going. But I think another SEC school will break it eventually.
Okay, then who do you think? What school? Not this year, but maybe. But what school?
I'm gonna say Ole Miss.
She's
They
an
got-
Ole Miss ride or die.
They got.
The Rebels love the party.
Thank you so much for joining us, Harrison. SEC Unfiltered. We love working with you in the dugouts and whatnot on the field, hanging out. It's been so nice getting to know those guys.
Yeah, everyone has been so nice. All the media people.
Yeah.
Everyone has the same like vision, and everyone has a different way of achieving it. So collabing and doing all this stuff and learning.
Yeah.
We've networked with so many people, and it's been
The
an eye-opening
best time
experience.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great crew. We've been getting to know everyone, and I'm so thankful. But like you said, it's all mattering because all of us are doing it to share the story of the student athlete, which I love. Like, no one's in over their head or anything about it.
Exactly, yeah. All different ways, too. Like, we're all kind of talking to the same people, trying to get the same stuff, but it all comes out different because we have different visions of what the target audience is.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So today we have 2 elimination games. 2 teams are going home, and then we'll only have 4 left. So that means we're nearing the end.
I get sad watching the press conferences at the end. I get so
I know.
sad.
But like I said this yesterday, Coach O'Connor from Virginia was like, yeah, we were the first team eliminated for the second time in the past 2 years. Like, but 7 teams are getting eliminated. It just sucks that we have to be the first, but at the end of the day, only one person's going to be crowned a champion. We have Florida State versus Carolina today. ACC matchup. They've seen each other. They know exactly what they're looking for. I think we're going to have a great ball game there. Then we have Florida, Kentucky, an SEC matchup. The exact same thing. They've seen each other all year. They know exactly what they're looking for. Should be a really good day.
I think the fans today are going to be crazy.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to look forward to what's going to happen next, but at the end of the day, whoever comes out on top then has to beat Tennessee and Texas A&M twice in a row to punch their ticket to the College World Series. So it should be interesting.
Should be very interesting. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.